Coffee here. Yum, yum, yum. Mm. By the way, I am now an affiliate of Life Boost. What does that mean? It means that you can purchase coffee now from Spirit and Coffee, which is good. And it's Life Boost coffee. And Life Boost coffee is, I've tried it out. I love it. It's phenomenal. So I highly encourage that you guys try it out. My link for Life Boost coffee, if you want to purchase, is on the Facebook. As soon as I get my website up, I will have a link so that you guys can then go in and purchase your coffee because it's going to be amazing and it tastes so phenomenally good. Okay, so Life Boost, just so you guys know. Okay, let's get started. In the four agreements, um, yesterday we were talking about don't take it personal. We're still going to go on to don't take it personal. We'll probably talk about this for the rest of our life because we take everything personal sometimes. It's hard not to. There's a lot of shit going on in the world, excuse my language, and a lot of hardships, a lot of suffering. Everybody's going through craziness, and it's kind of hard not to take things personal at times. Okay, just so you know, we are on. Don't take anything personal. Okay, so if someone is treating you with love and respect, it is a gift. If someone is not treating you with love and respect, it's a gift when they walk away from you. This was the part of letting go. Talked about letting go several times. You guys can definitely go to my other live videos and take a look at that. But really, letting go is the hardest thing to do, but it's important that we let go so that we can allow new energy to arise in our space, okay? When you make it a strong habit not to take anything personally, you avoid many upsets in your life. Your anger, jealousy, and envy will disappear. If you can make this second agreement a habit, you will find that nothing can put you back into hell. There's a huge amount of freedom that comes to you when you take nothing personally. You become immune to black magicians, and those spells can affect you regardless of how they may be. The whole world can gossip about you, and if you don't take it personally, you are immune. Someone can intentionally send emotional poison, and if you don't take it personally, you will not eat it. When you don't take emotional poison, it becomes even when you don't take the emotional poison, it becomes even worse in the sender, but not in you. And that's the thing. It's that they're spewing. Good morning. How are you on Podbean 1179? Hello, Alice. I think I'm saying that correctly. Um, when you don't take it, drink the emotional poison. So when somebody's telling you something, good morning, I don't know who that is. Please say good morning on Facebook. I didn't get to see who you are. Um, the emotional poison that they're trying to insert in you when you don't take it personally, then gets stuck in them. Okay. Is that still, oh, good morning, Cecile. How are you? So someone can send you emotional poison, but if you don't take it personally, you don't eat it. Okay. They say that you're immune from black magicians. It's evening here, but good evening to you. Oh, good evening. That's right. You're on the other side of the world. Are you in India? Where are you at? Please tell me where you are. And someone can, yes, intentionally. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. You look great too. All I see is your little circle thingy. um, so people can gossip about you, and this is important. Okay, what's important is that people will gossip, right? People will talk about you when you live by this practice and principle of not taking anything personally. When you say I'm just going to do me and not pay attention to what the rest of the world says, you get better results. People, you're going to have what they call your haters, and I love it. There's this quote out there, and they say Johnny Depp said it, but who knows if these people say these quotes. I think they just put quotes on people's face and say that, but maybe he did. I don't know. But it's something like people will talk bad about you until you get successful, and then they'll talk about how they met you. And that's the thing. When you focus on you, when you stay in your lane, when you focus on what you're up to, and you don't pay attention to all of what everybody's the naysayers, the drama, the people talking shit about you, the whatever it is, when you stay focused on what you're up to and you're successful, at what you do and you continue to do it and you become successful, you're going to have the people that talk ill about you. That's never going to go away. Not your business. Your business is continuing the work that you're doing. Continue, as long as your intentions are good and you're not here to do harm and you have good intentions to support humanity, whatever they may be, as long as those intentions are pure, it doesn't matter what other people say. Continue to do you. If I would have listened to all of my naysayers my whole life, I would never have gotten where I got. I had to believe in myself, and part of that is you believing in you, you knowing that you are enough, you remembering that you are worthy, you remembering that you are powerful. When you start to recognize that and start to remember that and live into that and practice that and not taking things personal. When I went back to school, I was a non-traditional student to get my degree. I tried to go straight out of high school to college. Didn't work. I kept dropping out. And then I decided that I was going to work. And I got a very good job at the time. At my age, I was very young, making a lot of money. And I thought it was cool. Okay. Thought it was like awesome. Like I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. And then I slowly realized that I would be trapped in that work, getting that amount of pay unless I went back to school. When I went back to school, my father, his words to me were, "You're too old. Go back to work." That's for kids. And I wasn't even that old. I think I was like 23 when I decided to go back. It wasn't like I was 54. And it doesn't matter. Even if you are 54, go back to school. School's for everybody. I would go back to get my PhD eventually in my lifetime when I'm maybe 67. No, I don't know. But what I'm saying is that you have the power to do you. And did I listen to what they told me? No. Good morning, man. If I would have listened, good morning, Ellie. If I would have listened, I would have never gone as far as I've got. People told me, don't leave the country. Why are you leaving the country? I'm like, I don't care what you say. It's not your business. I'm going to go. And I left. And yes, I lived in India for a year. Alizigar, I think that's how you say your name. In Bangalore for a year. And met people, came back, traveled Asia, traveled, gone all over the country, just did everything that I wanted to do without listening to what others told me and letting them impact me. Had I listened to them, I would have never, ever, ever, ever experienced half the things that I've experienced. So stop listening to the naysayers, stop listening to the haters. It's not your business. If they don't like what you're doing, they're not paying your bills. This is what I always tell people. Are they paying your bills? Are they feeding you? Are they clothing you? If the answer is no, then it doesn't matter. You're feeding you. You're taking care of you. So do what you choose to do. Stop listening to all of the garbage that comes into your life, or you'll never do anything. You'll always say, I want to take that trip that you never take. You'll always say, I'm going to get that degree that you never get, because you're so busy listening to either the voices in your head that are making you doubt who you are, or you're listening to the external world that says you're not enough to do it. You are enough. You can do it. I am the prime example. That is why I get on this podcast, to let you know that I am human. There is nothing special about me at all. By no means is there anything special. I am no different from you. If there is a difference, the difference is discipline, practice, and I'm just going to do me, and I'm not going to take things personally. So this chapter is very important. I love sort of the context of this particular paragraph, because it's telling us that, hey, go out and stop listening to people and taking their poison on. You'll never do what you want to do if you listen to the outside world and all of their projection of you can't do this and you can't do that. So just a bit of insight for me, and Cecile, you're on here. I don't know if you remember this from when I was younger. Maybe you do or maybe you don't. But the second someone told me I couldn't do something, I went out and did it. I was sort of a rebel in that way. Bothered me when people said you can't. I'm like, whatever. Yes, I can. I'll do what I want. It was the fuel to ignite me, right? Good morning, Answer. Good morning, Nathan. Is that what it is? Good morning, Atik. Atik. Um, to be able to say, hey, look, I don't care. Yes, see, you remember I was very much a rebel, very much stubborn in my ways, and very, very outspoken. Now, I had to learn a lot through life. My outspokenness sometimes became a little bit egotistical, and I had to learn how to hone that in and to come from a place of love, kindness, and compassion, but not listening to what people tell me to do. Okay? Good morning, Brandy. If I continued to listen to what people tell me to do, I would have never done half the things that I've done. And I've had an amazing life, and I've done so much in my life. And so much so that I want to give back to people to let them know that they too have that opportunity, that option. I also will take on, I'll say yes to almost everything. I will try something once just to see. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll like it. Maybe I won't. And if I don't, can I walk away? Sure, it doesn't matter. It's not, I'm not like stuck to this one thing for the rest of my life, and neither are you. Start to look at what works for you. But when you listen to the naysayers and you get the poison and all that stuff, you're not going to do the things that you want to do. Stop it or don't. Okay, you can see how important this agreement is. Taking nothing personally helps you to break many habits and routines that trap you in the dream of hell and cause needless suffering. Just by practicing the second agreement, you begin to break dozens of teeny tiny agreements that cause you to suffer. And if you practice the first two agreements, you will break 75% of the teeny tiny agreements that keep you trapped in hell. Write this agreement on paper and put it on your refrigerator to remind you all the time. Don't take anything personally. This is hard to remember when we're in the heat of a conflict. Is it bad if you do? No, it's okay, but to recognize that you're taking it personally. Start to dig deeper into why. Where is the trigger? Why is this triggering you, right? This is why I go through the book, because people are like, oh, yeah, that sounds good. Okay, I'm just not going to take it personal. And then they go, I'm just going to pretend that I'm not taking this personally, when really they are. The point is not to deny that you're not taking it personally. It's to look at what are the triggers that are causing you to take it personally. How do we overcome those triggers? When we overcome those triggers, then we can start to practice what it's like to stand in our own divine truth, our own authentic truth. When we get to our authentic truth, you don't take anything personally, because you're like, I know who I am. I know what my intentions are. I'm going to articulate and communicate them so clearly that if people don't get them, then I'm going to reiterate what it is that I have an intention for. If they don't get it, not my problem. If they don't like it, not my problem. I'm not here to harm. Good morning, Martin. I'm here to do good. I'm here to do good for people. I'm here to serve humanity. As long as your intentions are pure in the background, the way that you engage things is critical. It's important. Now, sometimes we get feedback that's important, but remember that you're asking for that feedback. So it's like, yeah, I'm doing this thing. My intentions are good. It's coming out distorted. People are getting upset. I'm not 100% sure why. I'm not going to take it personal, but I'm going to engage them and ask them. It also opens up the door for feedback, an opportunity for you to grow. When you don't take it personal and you ask, can I ask you a question? Why did you say that I was a jerk? What is it that I did that made you think that about me? You're more open to communicating that situation, because you know in your heart you weren't being a jerk, or you know in your heart that's not the message you wanted to convey. Maybe it came across that way. And maybe they'll say something that throws you off left field, and you're like, wow, that's really not what I intended. You're able to communicate better as well. Okay? So, as you make the habit of not taking anything personally, you won't need to place your trust in what others say or do. And that's what I was just talking about. You won't only need to trust yourself to make responsible choices. And that's what I was talking about. When you're responsible in yourself, You're understanding what your personal intention is. My intention is to love, to bring harmony, to bring peace, to engage with people, to love people, right? And that is what my intention is. If it's coming out distorted and people are saying, Natalie, you're not being very kind, then I'm going to say, okay, I'm not going to take it personally. I'm going to say, okay, I know that's not my intention. So why is it coming out this way? Good morning, Dylan Hard. Why is it coming out this way? And then you can engage in the conversation and then start to understand and take that feedback. And also, you're open to feedback when you don't take things personally. Typically, we won't be open to feedback because we're like, oh my God, they're going to say I'm this, or we want to look good, or we want people to like us. That's the big kicker, too. Does it matter if they like you or not? No, because if it did, we'd be taking it personally. So who cares? Then you might say, Natalie, I care. Well, that's fine. Is caring serving you? If somebody doesn't like you, if somebody's not supporting you in your efforts to actually live into your greater purpose, why are you holding on to them? They're only blocking your energy. They're only stopping you from actually doing what it is that you truly desire to do with your life. It's only taking away your time, not giving to. You will need to trust yourself. Okay, you are never responsible for the actions of others. You're only responsible for you. When you truly understand this and refuse to take things personally, you can hardly be hurt by the careless comments or actions of others. You can't control others. You can't change others. We know this. And I've had this conversation and several times. And I think, good morning, Atik. I think we're at a point right now in our life where people truly get this. I think people truly get that we cannot change people. And we sometimes will end up in relationships where what we think we can change somebody. You cannot. You can only change you. That's it. Period. End of story. There is no good morning, Kristen. How are you? Good to see you on here. I don't think I've ever seen you on Spirit Coffee before. Have you been on here? I don't know. If you drink coffee, everybody too, by the way, I am an affiliate of Life Boost. I highly encourage that you order some coffee. I have the link on my Facebook page, but when I get my website, I'll have it on there as well. Delicious. It's amazing. Okay. So, yeah. So you are not responsible for the actions of others. How you engage, your responsibility is how you engage the actions of others. How when others show up being jackwagons, how you engage that jackwagon is up to you. It's up to you. If somebody's going around and cussing at everybody in their face, you can't change them. And some people are like, well, I can change them. I can talk to them. If I go talk to them, it's going to change your behavior. No, it's not. People can only change themselves. Okay, you're not responsible, but you are responsible for how you engage the situation. I think people are starting to get that they can't change people. Some people are still stuck in thinking that they can. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, good morning, Vicki. Y'all can chime in on your own personal experience as well. That I have my people that I know, let's just say friends, who have been in a relationship for a very long time. And one comes to me and says, he's this way, that way, this way. And the other one says, she's this way, that way, this way. And I told them both, you've been together for like 20 some years. The behavior hasn't changed. What makes you think it's going to change tomorrow? You either accept the person for who they are or walk away. But trying to change them or waiting on them to change is a time wasted. Your time wasted. Your time is valuable. This is where we step up and say, I value me. I value my time. My time is worth something. I am worthy. And when you waste your time on things that are not serving your higher purpose or serving you in what you're up to, and you're wasting your time, what you're saying is, I'm not enough. I'm not worthy. That's what you're telling yourself. I'm okay with letting other people waste my time. The most valuable currency we have is spiritual currency. Spiritual currency is our time currency. how we utilize our precious time that we do not get back. We don't get back this time. Good morning, Tim. We don't get back our time. We cannot reverse the clocks. We can't just go and say, okay, I'm going to put it back to yesterday. We're always moving forward. Now, have they figured that out? Perhaps Einstein and quantum physicists and all of these people are trying to figure out how to travel in time. Right now, all we know how to do is travel forward in time. That's it. When you put people in your space that are wasting the valuable time that you have, you're saying, I'm not enough. I am not valuable. I would rather waste my day trying to change somebody that's never going to change than work on changing myself so that I can then create something beautiful in the world. Good morning, Gagan. Spiritual currency is the most important thing we have. It is time currency. Time currency is what we pay attention to and how we spend our time. Who are we spending our time with? What are we paying attention to within those times that we're spending time with people? Are we focused on taking things personally and talking about other people? Or are we spending on time on collaboration and co-creation and how we're going to support one another to bring our gifts forward into the world, to walk in our God self, to walk in spirit? No, we're going to waste time doing what? We're not going to get it back. Every moment we have is not going to come back. When we think about money, people will say, oh, money, money, money. Okay. Money comes and goes. It's like water. Money's fluid. Our time never can come back. We can never refill the cup of time. Now, I shouldn't say never because maybe it is possible. We have not figured it out. I haven't figured it out. If you have, please let me know. Because let me tell you what, I would like all of the time that I wasted, I would like that back. And I'd like to put some more time in there so that I can do what I truly want to do and leave in this world. Because I've wasted time. I'm constantly looking at how am I efficient and effective with my time, because I have a divine purpose to leave this divine purpose behind, to leave my gifts behind. I cry about this, you guys. This is how important it is. When you get to the root of why you're here, it's so important that there's so much urgency in it that you don't stop doing it. Spirit and coffee to me is the urgency. I've been doing it for a long time because I want to make sure that I leave everything I can behind. Everything. Everything that's going to support somebody. Someone could replay these videos 5 years later. I don't care. Something. It's going to support somebody, maybe, hopefully. That's what it's designed to do. And and I'm saying, look, I've done it for 2 years, over 2 years. And I'm going to continue to do it. Why? Because I understand that it's my intention, it's my purpose, and time is precious. And when I'm going to spend my time, I'm going to spend my time with you. I'm going to spend my time supporting you. I'm going to spend my time serving you. That's what I'm doing, serving you guys. Let me be the example. You guys in your life, when things are going bad, when you feel like a relationship's not going anywhere, when you feel like a friendship's falling apart, let it go. Let it go. Because all you're going to do is tangle up your time in something that's not going to grow or blossom. So you can let it go so that you can step into something new. The part that people get afraid of is that there's nothing new is going to show up and they're going to have nothing. Sometimes nothing's better than something, you guys. I'd rather sit in the silence and contemplate and work through my spiritual cleansing than to be in the midst of what? Nonsense that does what for me? Now, you guys can say that's a judgment call, and it could be a little bit of ego. I always insert where it's coming from, because I want you guys to understand there's a process. What I'm saying is, yeah, it could be, but it doesn't serve me, and it's not going to serve you to be among that particular drama or poison or whatever. Pay attention to your conversations with people. Now, we as humans get to let go of stuff. So speaking out and letting go is good. It's not bad, okay? So here's the opposite side of that. Because people say, well, then what? We just don't talk to anybody. We don't let it out. No, let it out, but don't hold on to it. Learn to let relationships go, friendships go. If the friendship is good and solid, it'll come back in the time that it's supposed to. I've had friends that exit and come into my life all the time. Exit, come back, exit, come back, exit, come back. I'm not trying to tie them to say, hey, you've got to just hang out with me and tie you to my energy. No, my energy might not be serving you in this moment. It might be taking away from what you're up to. Go be free, go figure it out. I'm okay with being alone. That's the big kicker, too. Be okay with being with you. Okay. There's a lot that goes into this, obviously. Okay. If you keep this agreement, you can travel around the world with your heart completely open and no one can hurt you. You can say, I love you without fear of being ridiculed or rejected. You can ask for what you need. You can say yes. You can say no, whatever you choose, without guilt or self judgment. You can choose to follow your heart always. Then you can be in the middle of hell and still experience inner peace and happiness. You can stay in a state of bliss and hell will not affect you at all. Now, we are in the hell. And I like this particular thing about saying I love you without being afraid. We are so afraid to say we love each other. That is the biggest, I think, problem we have in our society. One of the biggest problems, because we think that we tangle up the word love with sexual connection, or we tangle it up with some sort of weirdness. Me, I tell everybody I love them. My friends know I love you, mean it. Love you, mean it. I say that to all my friends. And I love them. And I love you guys. And I'm okay with saying I love you. Why? Because whether you receive my love or not, whether you reject it, there's been people who reject it. It is not my problem. What happens is I do get upset because I'm upset that someone can't accept the gift of love. That tells me how they feel about themselves. When someone can't accept love, it tells me exactly what they feel about themselves. They don't think they're enough for love. They don't love themselves. They don't know who they are. They're completely lost. Why? Because love is the most powerful thing that we've got. It dissolves all. And when we can stand in love and when we can say it, we know that we love ourselves. I love myself so much that when I say I love you, if you reject that, that's not my problem. I'm like, wow, who would reject love? When you're just a ball of love, that's like rejecting, in my eyes, God. It's saying, nah, good morning, Stevie. And that makes me cry because who wouldn't accept love? There's people that don't know how. Not a judgment call. It's just very sad for me. Get very sad because I'm like, wow, that tells me what they feel about themselves. When people love themselves, good morning, Doreen. When people love themselves and you tell them that you love them and they accept that love, it's because they're working on loving themselves. People cannot say I love you without feeling really ridiculed. Okay. So if you say I love you and someone rejects and you feel ridiculed or you feel shamed that they don't love you back or you feel whatever it is that you feel, it's because you don't truly love yourself. When you truly love yourself, you're like, you can have my love or not. That's not my problem. It's very sad if you don't. Please follow our new podcast show. Let's Speaking by Rajesh. Thank you for inviting me to follow. I appreciate that, man. I like that. I appreciate that, man. So love yourself. Love yourself so much that when you tell someone you love them, you're not afraid that they're not going to love you back, but you will be upset and hurt that they may not love you back, not because you need their love, but because you know where they stand with themselves. I've given love people reject, and I'm like, wow, who would reject love? Love is the most pure, beautiful thing that we have to give. And if you're not able to accept love, that's an important cue to yourself as well. Good morning, Stipple. Good morning, Jacinta. How do we accept love, right? So if someone says, I love you, and you reject it, asking yourself, why are you rejecting a gift like that? Why would you? That's God speaking to you. That's God. That's somebody's God self expressing God through them. God is expressing himself through the vessel, through you, through that person that's giving you the gift. Like me, this podcast, yeah, it's Natalie doing it, but it's not Natalie. It's not mine. It doesn't belong to me. But it is love. It is God in motion. It is God saying, I love you. I love every one of you. Like, deeply love you guys. Like, I cry when I get people on this podcast who are suffering and don't know how to accept love, that to the core I can feel it, because I understand that they don't love themselves, and it gets me sad. That's why I'm here, to teach you guys that you can love yourself and that love can dissolve all. And you know that that's what this podcast is about. It's about bringing everybody back to love. At the end of the day, we are all love. When you reject love, you reject God. So, how do we begin to accept love? Start loving yourself. When you love yourself fully, you'll accept love and you will be able to give love. Fill your cup first, and as it overfloweth, you give to others. So, salud. There you are today. As I drink my coffee that is filled. All right, so there we go. There you have it. We are done with this chapter. We are moving on to the next chapter tomorrow for Friday. And the third one, don't make assumptions. Ooh, I make a lot of assumptions. That one's my hardest one, I think. I'll just be assuming I know what's going on, and I don't. Be like, Natalie, bring it back. You don't know. Be the fool at all times, and I'll explain that tomorrow. But again, if you guys want Life Boost coffee, please go order it. I'm affiliate now. That's sort of how we looked at collaboration, or that's how they look at a collaboration. I got my Life Boost coffee. It's amazing. I've been drinking it every day. Low acidity. The beans smell phenomenal. Flavor is phenomenal. Highly recommend that you order some to try it out, and see if you like it. Does take a while to receive the order, because apparently the way that they grow it and how they actually put care into sending it out is what I understand. So try it out. You can get the link on my Facebook. I put it on the Spirit and Coffee Facebook. That's Spirit and Coffee Talk. For those of you on Podbean, Facebook at Spirit and Coffee Talk. I am going to be looking at how to get on Instagram, Spirit and Coffee One. That is the for Instagram at Spirit and Coffee One. You can get on there, and I am going to try to see if I can set up a Zoom to stream on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at the same time. That way we can integrate this and reach and expand more people to be part of the conversation. And then eventually, hopefully, if things go the way they're supposed to, which I've prayed, so pray for me, that we have a home for Spirit and Coffee, and that people can then come on and be guests and whatnot. I tried that, but it just didn't work out. It just seemed to be a lot harder. But I would love to have guests on here for sure. So that would be awesome. Okay, so I love you guys. Have a beautiful Thursday. And I will be seeing you guys tomorrow for Friday. And then we're going to call it a week. And remember, your time is precious and valuable. Please, please, please spend your time on things that are supporting you, that are helping you create and magnify your divine birthright, helping you leave your legacy, helping you leave your fingerprint in this world, because that's what we're here to do. Okay? So I love you guys. Have a good day. And I will be seeing you all tomorrow. Bye.